As the morning sun cast its weak light through the grimy windows of the old building, Jenny stayed close to Jungkook's side, her eyes never straying far from him. The once vicious mafia boss was now reduced to a wounded man, vulnerable and needing her more than ever. Yet their moment of peace was shattered when a sudden knock at the door made Jenny's heart skip a beat. Taehyung face hard and stay here, he instructed Jenny, his voice low and dangerous. I will see who it is. Jenny watched anxiously as Taehyung slipped out of the room, his expression a mix of determination and caution. The sound of muffled voices reached her ears, but she could not make out the words. Moments later, Taehyung returned, his face pale. It's a messenger from the rival gang, Taehyung said quietly. They know we're here. Jenny's breath caught in a thought. What do they want? Taehyung's eyes met hers, filled with grim resolve. They want Jungkook. They have made an ultimatum, surrender him or they will attack again, this time with no mercy. Jenny's heart raced. The rival gang wasn't just threatening anymore. They were poised to strike. What do we do? She asked, her voice trembling. Taehyung clenched his jaw. We need to move Jungkook. We can't stay here. I have a safe house, but it's in the city outskirts. We will have to leave immediately. Jenny nodded, her mind spinning with fear and determination. They could not afford to waste any time. She glanced at Jungkook, who was now conscious but still weak, his eyes filled with concern for her. We need to get out of here, Jenny said softly, her hands squeezing his. Taehyung has a plan. Jungkook's eyes flickered with a mixture of pain and resolve. You are coming with us, right? Jenny nodded. Of course. Taehyung quickly gathered their things and made sure Jungkook was stable enough to move. With the former underground doctor's help, they managed to get Jungkook into a wheelchair and then into the car. The tension in the air was palpable as they dropped through the city, each of them acutely aware of the danger they were in. Suddenly, Taehyung remembered, I have a few contacts who might be able to help us. The morning sun cast a soft glow through the grime-streaked windows of the safe house, signaling a new beginning for Jenny, Jungkook and Taehyung. With the rival gang swiftly dealt with by Taehyung's allies, the immediate danger had passed, allowing them a moment to breathe. Jenny sat by Jungkook's side, her fingers gently brushing his forehead as if sleep. The trauma of the previous days had left them all exhausted, but there was a new hope in the air. Taehyung, having secured the safe house and ensured their immediate safety, entered the room with a more relaxed demeanor. The rival gang is no longer a threat, Taehyung announced. We have secured a new place where we can all start fresh. Jenny's eyes lit up with relief. That's great news. Thank you, Taehyung. Taehyung nodded, a hint of a smile on his lips. We need to get things in order and find a way to move forward. As Taehyung helped with preparations for their move, Jenny and Jungkook had a moment alone. Jungkook's eyes held a mix of gratitude and apprehension as he looked at Jenny. What happens now? He asked softly. Jenny's heart fluttered. I think we need to take things one step at a time. We have been through so much together. Jungkook reached for her hand, his touch tender. I want us to be more than just survivors of this ordeal. I want to build something real. Jenny's eyes softened. I feel the same way. Let's focus on our future. As the days passed, the trio settled into their new home, a secure and a tranquil place that promised a fresh start. The house was cozy and the atmosphere was filled with a sense of cautious optimism. Taehyung's presence was a stabilizing force, but an undercurrent of tension developed between him and Jenny. One evening, as they were unpacking boxes and organizing their new home, Jenny and Taehyung found themselves alone in the kitchen. The air was filled with the scent of freshly cooked food, and a sense of normalcy seemed to be settling in. Taehyung glanced at Jenny, his eyes reflecting a mix of admiration and something deeper. You have been amazing through all of this, he said, his voice sincere. I don't know how we would have made it without you. Jenny smiled, a flush of warmth spreading across her cheeks. I couldn't have done it without you either. You have been incredible. There was a moment of silence as Taehyung's gaze lingered on Jenny. The tension between them was palpable, and Jenny could feel the weight of his unspoken emotions. Jenny, there's something I need to tell you, Taehyung said, his voice slightly hesitant. Before Taehyung could continue, Jungkook walked in breathing and moment. Hey, I thought I would help with dinner. He said, his tone cheerful, but his eyes darted between Jenny and Taehyung, sensing the undercurrent of tension. As they gathered around the table for dinner, the atmosphere was charged with unspoken feeling. Jenny's mind was a whirl of emotions, torn between her deepening connection with Jungkook and the unexpected feeling Taehyung had stirred within her. Later that night, as Jenny and Jungkook sat on the porch watching the stars, Jungkook took her hand in his eyes filled with a mixture of hope and apprehension. Jenny, I want us to build a life together. I'm ready for that if you are. Jenny's heart sore at his words. I want that too, she said, leaning in for a tender kiss. Their connection was undeniable, a bond forged in the fires of their shared experiences. Meanwhile, Taehyung alone in his room, restless with his own feelings. He had always been a man of control, but the emotions he felt for Jenny were a new and confusing territory. The depth of his feelings for her was more than just admiration, it was something stronger, more intense. The next morning, as Taehyung prepared to leave for Indrans, he approached Jenny, who was sitting in the living room. There was a determined look in his eyes, a resolve to address the feeling he had been grappling with. Jenny, Taehyung began, his voice steady but filled with emotion. I need you to know something. I have developed feeling for you, feeling that go beyond friendship. I have tried to ignore them, but I can't anymore. I care for you deeply. Jenny's eyes widened in surprise, her heart racing. Taehyung's I didn't realize. Taehyung continued, his voice firm but gentle. I understand if you don't feel the same way. I just needed you to know how I feel. Our lives have been intertwined in ways I never expected, and my feelings for you have grown. Jenny's mind raced, torn between her feeling for Jungkook and the unexpected revelation from Taehyung. She appreciated Taehyung's honesty, but her heart was already committed to Jungkook. Taehyung, I value our friendship deeply and I care about you, Jenny said softly, but my heart belongs to Jungkook. I hope you understand. Taehyung's expression was a mix of sadness. And acceptance. I understand. I just needed to be honest with you. As Taehyung left the room, Jenny felt a mixture of relief and sadness. The dynamics between them had shifted, but she never her part was with Jungkook. The future was uncertain, but she was ready to face it with the man she had grown to love. The days that followed were filled with a new sense of balance and understanding. Jenny and Jungkook continued to strengthen their relationship while Taehyung remained a supportive and loyal friend. The bonds between them had been tested, but they emerged stronger, ready to embrace the future together.